Hey everybody, how's it going? We are back with probably the best build in Elden Ring as it stands right now. This is by far the easiest time that I've had playing this game. So for the people that just want to see stats, here are the stats. 50 Vigor, 20 Mind, 35 Endurance, and 80 Arcane. Starting class was Samurai. Here is the weapons. Scavenger, Occult Curve Sword, Bloodhound on one, Seppuku on the other, White Mask, fashion is to your discretion, Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Green Turtle Talisman, Millicent's Prosthetic, and Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. Okay, have a great day. See you later. To those of you that are still here with me, let me explain to you the details of this build now. So, start off, if you are going Arcane, please do not use Rivers of Blood. It does not go even close as hard as Scavenger's Curve Sword, okay? Let me explain to you why. First of all, it's a D-scaling in Arcane. If you're going hard into Arcane, this weapon is not going to give you the results that you want, okay? Scavenger's Curve Sword, however, is going to give you the results that you want. First of all, it scales B in Arcane. Your dex in doesn't matter. It has an innate bleed buildup. And it does not lose that innate bleed buildup for some reason. When you put Occult onto it for it to scale higher, just doesn't lose it at all. It actually gains bleed buildup. I don't know if this is a bug or if it's something that just happens on this weapon specifically, but nevertheless, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. So you're probably wondering, okay, why run Bloodhound Step on one and Seppuku on the other? Well, first of all, in case you were unaware of this, not all bosses bleed. So White Mask and Lord of Blood's Exaltation become far less useful if you're fighting a boss that doesn't bleed. So that's where Seppuku comes in. So if you go Seppuku and blood loss, it doesn't matter whose blood you're letting as long as blood is being let. So that activates White Mask, and it activates Lord of Blood's Exaltation, and it gives you a nice buff to your other sword. Second of all, I'm one of those people that just really enjoys having utility. So being able to just magic dodge all over the place is really nice. I'll take that over a second Seppuku every day. If you want to, you can put Seppuku on the other weapon and just go balls deep in it. That's to your preference. So the other reason why we're using Curve Swords is their moveset. Their double moveset is crazy. You are getting 8 hits out of the combo. You are going to proc bleed at least twice. And you're getting the benefit of your weapons actually hitting for something. If you were to run Rivers of Blood will not give you a lot of damage, and your really only damage from Rivers of Blood is its weapon art. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's the only good thing about Rivers of Blood is the weapon art. Even like if you were to dual wield Rivers of Blood, which I still wouldn't recommend, but you can do it. still not going to get that damage you want. I'm sorry. The only benefit of running Rivers of Blood is that you could put the turtle shell on your back, and you could switch this to something like Godskin, Swaddling Cloth, or Erdtree's Favor, or Dragon Crest Talisman. Not really worth it, in my opinion. That being said, you can switch this talisman out regardless. Like, if you want to be really hard in it, Godskin, Swaddling Cloth, really good with this build. You're gonna heal a little bit off of a full combo. Not like a significant amount, but enough to where you'll notice it. I just personally like the utility because I feel like I run out of stamina really quick. My other note is that if you're going to do this and you're not just going to like fast dash all the time, you could take 5 points out of mind and just run them straight into endurance, put you at 40. And then you could run, instead of Raging Wolf, you could just go full tryhard and run full Bull Goat armor. Like, you know, obviously you're still gonna wanna run White Mask, but you will run Bull Goat armor for the other part of it. That'll give you poise, but as I've seen in testing, poise doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't, unless you're like doing hardcore PvP. Like, bosses don't give a shit about your poise. As far as that goes, fashion is Raging Wolf's armor. It has a slight like red tinge to it that I like, and the colors on the bandaging and such, and the back of the cape actually, for the most part, match the White Mask, which is kind of funny. It's not intentional, but it's the nicest fashion that I've seen for this, and I tried a lot of stuff. That being said, not really doing anything crazy. I don't run a Great Rune because I don't think they're useful, and if you go into New Game Plus, they're just gone anyways. If you want to run one, Radahn's, just to give you that extra oomph of endurance, MP, and HP. I don't run any gimmick stuff, no buffs. I was running Swarm of Flies for a while, but I just didn't think that the 3 points into Faith were worth it, personally. Especially if you're just gonna go ham. You could take like a couple of points out of mine to put them into Faith if you really wanted to. I don't think that any of the dragon incantations are worth it because they require too much of an investment into Faith. And I just wasn't really into that. You know what I mean? Early game, if you want to invest the 3 points, go ahead and do it, because I think you'll see high results from it. Obviously, you want to run the Dragon Communion Seal because it has a really good scaling in Arcane. You don't give a shit about the Faith scaling because you want it to be Arcane scaling. I'm kind of, as far as weapons go, like if you didn't want to run these, I don't like how whips work, but you could run dual hollow petal whips, or sorry, not hollow, it's Huslow, however you pronounce it. I've always just read it as hollow. They're good with an arcane scaling. They're probably on par with the Scavenger's Curved Sword. Problem with it, though, is that the windup is just too long for me. You don't need, obviously, with Millicent's prosthetic, you don't need to invest any points into dexterity because you're getting those points with it. I just personally don't like it. I don't like the wind-up, and I don't like the moveset. That's just a personal thing for me. If you want to run them, by all means, they'll probably be on the same par. Mogh's Great Spear, if you really want to run it, you will have to invest into strength, like, quite a bit. To me, that just wasn't worth it. I think Great Spears are too slow. You get caught very easily in boss fights. The weapon art is fine. I mean, obviously, if you want to farm runes at the place, probably want to invest into this. That way that you don't have to invest into other things, like Faith, to run the other sword. It's decent for its weapon art. If you want to farm, wouldn't recommend using it. Only thing I would recommend, other than scavengers, is godskin peelers. You will sadly have to scale them in blood, though, because they do not have a bleed, innate bleed proc. So that's why I'm not using them. That's my main reason behind not using them. And why we're using these. You could run them. You do have to invest a little bit into strength and dexterity, which is the other thing that I didn't like. This just seemed like the perfect all-around arcane weapon. Like, I did a lot of research into it. I went to the wiki. I tested it, like, severely, and this is the best bang for your buck. Pure arcane, kill people quick build. Like, obviously you know where I am right now. Like, I'm in Melena's boss room. Went in here with Mimic, obviously. You know, if you want to... But the Mimic is purely there, by the way, just for me to not get aggroed so much. You can easily do this fight without the Mimic. I just went in here to kind of mess with her and ended up one-shotting her. Or, not one-shotting her, but first-timing her instantly. This build slaps. Like, this is the honest... This is, like, my seal of approval on a build, is if you... how many times you struggle with Melena. And this build just first-timed her. Easily. Obviously, you know, she is weak to blood buildup. But, I mean, that's the whole point of running this build, is to fight the bosses that are weak to blood. You will have a hell of a time fighting Mogh. I'm not gonna lie to you there. I struggled for a minute. The end bosses are kind of... they don't bleed. You know, which is not surprising. So, Seppuku is gonna be your friend in that fight. That way you're at least getting the buffs off of it. And that's the thing, like, that's the main thing that I wanted out of these weapons. Rivers of Blood is only good if you can bleed them. The weapon art does a lot of damage even if you can't bleed them, but it's not going to be the same amount of damage as you're getting from these weapons. Even if... Just lost my train of thought. Even if you are having a... Even if you're like, oh, but Rivers of Blood is doing more damage and blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's not. First of all, it has a half scaling, which means it's scaling both in fire and in physical. These are scaling straight physical. For the few bosses that are weak to fire, which I don't even remember, it's not very many. You're gonna have a problem. Fire Giant, you're gonna just basically eat a dick in that fight a lot. With these, you're not. That being said, that's all I got for you right now. As far as builds go, I only have 2 left. Well, to be fair, I only have 1 left to do, which is a magic build. I have a strength build, but the problem is I really don't like my strength build. And, well, I don't like strength as it is because it's mostly jumping attacks. And as me, I just don't like jumping. Jumping in a fight. So if you want to see that, do let me know, and I will make a video on that build. I'm just not really happy with its outcome. And yeah, you'll probably see a magic build next, unless you really want to see that see that strength build. As far as that goes, I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out, and I will take, you know, any critiques, any suggestions. If you have a suggestion on the build, please let me know. I will make a follow-up video if there's something just out of the ordinary. But this is, as far as my testing has gone, the best bang for your buck, pure arcane build, slaps bosses, slaps people in PvP. So yeah, have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.